Okay.
We'll let it run for a little bit so it is active. Make sure it is working. Do. Nickelodeon. Alright, we look like we are Gucci. Let's try to have some fun. This is going to be a fun one. I was interested to see what JJ thought, but he's pretty busy. Be a fun one. I was interested to see what JJ thought. Do a mic check, Lou. He's pretty busy.
What's up?
Be a fun one. I was interested to see what JJ thought. Do a mic check, Lou. He's pretty busy.
What's up?
All right, we good. We Gucci. We Gucci. We Gucci. We Gucci. Yo, what it do, GG Nation, GG Legion, your fella again, Straussman, the GG. Yo, fantastic show we got for you tonight. A lot of things have been going on gaming-wise. A lot of things happened last week. A lot of things started out the week with a bang. Xbox Series X pre-order and S pre-orders came out today. We're going to talk about all that. We're going to cover it for you today on Golden God and Friends podcast episode 7.5 billion. Not actually. Episode 49. We're going to talk the PS5 showcase. We're going to talk all things video games, Nintendo Direct Mini, everything. We got everything covered for you. I was only able to nab Lou today, but I got skipped to my Lou here with me. How you doing, Lou?
Good. Can't complain on this nice day.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun talking about all this stuff. I'm interested to see what my partner here, Lou, my super best friend here, has in his head. Same thing with JJ. We'll try to get JJ's thoughts on another pod. We'll try to do Avengers spoiler cast this week sometime. I'm going to try to write that up, type that up, see if I can nab all four. JJ's usually pretty busy during the week. Let's see if we could do that during the weekend or something. Also, I want to apologize. Lackluster Twitch streams lately. The AC in my house is kind of out. It's not working really well. My room gets way too hot streaming, so I apologize for that. As soon as it's fixed, hopefully tomorrow, we will start streaming again. We'll try to do some hockey or something tomorrow, maybe some Avengers. How you doing, Joel? Welcome to the show today. I'm excited to talk about this. A lot of juicy news gaming-wise. I hope everyone was able to get an Xbox Series X, S, a PlayStation 5. It is kind of crazy. It kind of feels like Black Friday digitally already, doesn't it, Lou?
Yeah, it really does. You better go and get it before it goes away. Like that's how it feels, you know.
Yes, hot stream. You just missed it, Joel. My AC has been going out, so that's why I haven't been able to stream more on Twitch last week and this week. I think it's been like a week. I apologize. I mean to stream pretty much every day besides the weekends. So sorry about that. Again, I apologize. We'll get back on track hopefully when the AC is fixed tomorrow. But we're going to start off Microsoft. We're not going to start out with the biggest news story yet. We're going to start kind of chronologically what kind of happened last week. So Microsoft was first to introduce the price points of the Xbox Series X and S. $499, $299. What do you think of that price, Lou?
I think those are two good prices for what the system provides in terms of the S is could do much less compared to the Series X.
Yes. A lot of people don't know that. I'm glad Lou brought that up. Go ahead, Lou.
You can go ahead and I guess explain the difference of graphics wise.
Yes, the Series S. A lot of people didn't know this. A lot of people just think it's a $300 next gen console. Well, technically it kind of is, but it also isn't. It is not as powerful as a Series X. It's much weaker. It's 1440p, which is around about 2K. It's not actual native 4K. It can kind of render 4K. I might have some Xbox fans correct me in the chat or anything, but it is essentially like 2K. A lot of people are trying to compare this with the PS5 digital. The only difference between the PS5 digital and regular standard version is the disk drive. The specs are much stronger in the PS5 digital than the Xbox Series S. So it's not comparable. The X, if you want the most power, it's the X you want to go for, which is $499, $200 more than the Series S. But a lot of people don't seem to know that. Just giving you guys a 411 on it. It is not as powerful as the Series X or the PS5. Nowhere near the realm of power. So if you're looking just to buy a nice, easy streaming box, that's probably the one you want to get. But it will not be high-res 4K if you look at it. It will emulate 4K, but it's not actual true 4K. Just giving everybody a heads up on that. Go ahead, Lou.
Personally, I think that's enough for now with the S. If I were to choose between the Series X and the S,
Yeah.
just because of the lack of interesting exclusives that they have right now. So
Yeah, does anybody know? Like, I don't really know what's coming out for launch for Xbox. Does anybody know? It's not Halo anymore.
I know they have a list of games that are coming out. Again, the type of games though. Supposedly, I think Phil Spencer retweeted this. Don't quote me on it. They're gonna have the most exclusives.
Everyone quote Lou on this. Shame him.
They're gonna have the most exclusives at launch, but again, they're not as good as PlayStation exclusives in terms of marquee titles. They're like, I think the indie games and some other games that could be hit or miss.
Or indies are not bad. Lou's not saying indies are bad games.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying though that the PlayStation's coming out with the Spider-Man, and they're coming out with the remake of Demon Souls.
Yes.
And we were expecting Halo, but that got pushed back.
Yes.
So that would have been a big marquee title for the system.
Yeah.
And
it would have only
everything
been the
else.
second time in Microsoft history that a Halo launched with the console too.
Yes. So that would have been big, but unfortunately, it's not coming.
Yep.
Who knows when it's coming? They said 2021, right? They still haven't talked about a release date or anything like that.
You're absolutely right. It's 2021, so a lot of people assume January. I don't think so, man. They haven't said anything.
Yeah, because that's scary. That's scary to me because, 2021 could be September 2021. That could be a year from now.
Yeah, it could. Yes, 100% right.
So, that could be a year from now before we get a big exclusive over there on the Xbox.
Yeah.
So
I think Microsoft knows that, though. That's why I think this acquisition we're about to talk about is really big. I think they know that. They know the lineup doesn't match. Their first-party lineup does not compete with PlayStation at this moment. A lot of the fruits of their labor, of all the studios they bought, we won't see for another couple of years, really. See what it really can do. They're just really trying to get you into that Game Pass. We'll talk a little bit more of that. I think the price points are very good. I think a lot of people were thinking about $500 anyway. I know a lot of people would have lost their shit if it was $600, but $600 to $800, which was, a lot of rumors were floating around for both those consoles. Not the Series S, but the PS5 and the Xbox X were going to be pretty expensive. A lot of people were going to freak out. But a very competitive price point, $500. Very, very good. The same price as the original Xbox One, right? If I'm correct.
Yes. Yep.
With the Kinect, it's very, very, very competitive price point. Pre-orders came up today, Lou. How'd you feel? I know you were posting about your GameStop and stuff, or said place. I blew it on the stream. All right, edit that shit out. Edit that shit out. I blew it on stream. But said place of having very little stock, and it has been kind of a fiasco as well for Microsoft. Their website went down, Amazon went down, Best Buy went down, Walmart went down, Target went down, and they didn't have nearly as much stock as the PS5. How'd you feel about that, and what were you seeing on your end?
What I saw from my end was a lot of sloppiness that's supposed to be prepared. Again, I mentioned this before. Xbox is spaghetti's everywhere with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
They talked about how they're gonna have a release date for pre-orders, and I go to my local GameStop. They only have 5 total consoles to pre-order.
So like three X's and two S's.
Yeah, I didn't really ask, but
Okay.
what he told me was they only have 5, and they have people that slept overnight, waited in front of the store.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that's kind of disappointing for people that didn't know, which is why they put out the signs.
Yeah.
I don't know if some people actually saw the signs. I know I sent it to you in the group chat,
Yeah.
but they would post like how many they have, and so it would prevent dozens of people from sleeping outside.
Yes.
And I don't know furthermore from what Walmart's pre-orders are. I haven't, again, I haven't really sat down and looked at it. But GameStop's in-store pre-orders,
Yeah.
they're not even 10 for both. And
the stock is very
why.
low. What I saw today, the stock was very low. Like I said, their own store kind of went out. Like it dropped. Like the Xbox, the Microsoft store just like didn't work at all. A lot of people were trying to get their pre-orders in. Microsoft was, jabbing at Sony a little bit for their PS5 pre-orders, that they had this set date and it still didn't work, reasonably. Yeah. Like you said, you had a lot of people sleeping over. If you want an Xbox Series S, the $299 one, the less powerful one, is still in stock in Best Buy. You can pre-order it right now. If you want to go get it. Again, I was going to say this before we even got to the PlayStation stuff, before we even, the acquisition of ZeniMax and stuff. I really think it's going to be pretty easy to see a Series X and S on store shelves by November, December. I think you're going to be able to get those very readily, holiday-wise. I think it's going to be very hard to get a PS5. Again, I thought they would sell out today. It makes sense because of the stock and the bot not having high stock, and then the bots going after it, putting it on eBay and stuff as well, which is kind of a bummer. Scalpers tend to win a lot of times, and I know how it feels trying to get Nintendo stuff, and scalpers always kind of winning at that. But it's really, really interesting. We'll talk about the big acquisition right now. So I just want to ask Lou really quick. Do we know anybody that's got a series? I know some people, my other group chat, they pre-ordered it and stuff like that. Are you? When are you looking to get one? A Series X, if you're looking to eventually get one.
It's not going to be for a while.
Yeah.
So I'll probably maybe a year from now. And it's not because of money issues. It's really because there's nothing really for me to cling on to with Xbox.
Yeah.
And as far as do I know people? I know a couple tried, and they were unsuccessful. They go like hotcakes. Like there's very limited.
Yeah.
So they're having trouble like I guess a lot of other people. But yeah, to me it's very disappointing because they are fans. They really want it. And I'm not saying that the people that slept outside are not fans or whatever.
Yeah.
But you would think that there would be more quality, like more systems, and it just doesn't look like there is.
That's the shocking part about Xbox, because I figured there would be for Xbox. I figured there would be a good readily stock available for the Series X. I know Joel said he has bills to pay, he can't get one right now. Shout out to everybody that's trying to get one. Shout out to my group text, my other buddies. Most of them got it pre-ordered. I could have got one. Not really looking for. I'm with Lou. I'm not gonna jump the gun to get a Series X right away. PlayStation has everything I want right now. Like they have Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Demon's Souls. That's more than enough for me to play in, buy one and play PS5 right from the get-go.
Yes.
Plus, I'm getting free upgrades for Madden, Avengers, and 2K wasn't a free upgrade. I had to pay $100 for that shit. But I'm getting 2K on PS5 as well. I'm very lucky and fortunate. Shout out to my super best friend Lou. Skip to my Lou. Me and Lou are very lucky out of all our friends to get one. I know a lot of people don't have a PS. I'm talking about PS5. A lot of us did not get a PS5. I was very lucky, very fortunate. I was going to go to bed. I had a PS5 in my cart for a very, very long time, like 5 hours, and it was like 2:30 in the morning. Lou hit me up on PlayStation, and I was about to go to bed, and I was like, F it, let me just try this one more time. And I was able to get it go through, and I was able to get a PS5. Lou got a PS5 as well from said place. Damn it, I'm fudging up on the channel. Fudging up. At said place, he was able to get one. Very lucky, so shout out to him. Shout out to my homeboy. I feel very fortunate to have a PS5. I cannot wait to play Miles Morales and Demon Souls. Super stoked. And super stoked to replay Spider-Man PS4. Super stoked to play that. Hours are pretty bad for you as well, Joe. I'm sorry to hear that, man. It's a tough time for a lot of people. A lot of people are watching like a hawk to get these consoles. Hopefully, you guys, the best advice right now, I'm going to give you some tips. Just be patient. Have your noties on for Amazon, Walmart, Target, GameStop, anywhere. Have your noties on. Don't be a loyalist. If you see it at Target, go get it at Target, because you can always cancel it later if you get that Amazon pre-order that you really want. Have a group text. Have a lot of people to talk to. Look out for each other. This is what I always did with the Amiibo craze, Funko Pops, and anything Nintendo, like console-oriented, like Special Edition Legend of Zelda consoles and stuff. I have a group text full of all my closest buddies that we all do that. We all look out for each other. Lou and I are looking out for JJ and Elo and many others trying to get their PS5s, but be very diligent. The PS5 is going to be the hotcakes this summer. It's gonna not summer, this holiday. You got to be really diligent. You got to be on the ball and just be ready for it. Those are some of the best tips. Also for PS5, I know this sounds like I want you to spend more money, but Sony has already said the digital version of the PS5, they didn't make as many as the disc version. Try to go for a disc version of the PS5. You have a better chance of getting it. Have those noties on. Have it on for both of them, because you can pick what console you want, digital or physical. But I would always try to go for that physical. I know a lot of you want that digital, but it's going to be much harder. It's the more popular console, and they made less of them for Sony. Go ahead.
Also, if you're a Twitter person, or I think they're on Instagram or what have you, I'm not going to mention the name.
Yeah.
But there are places that will let you know, hey, PS5 pre-orders are going up soon.
Yes.
Or, there are places that, and I would suggest to turn on their notifications and just be ready.
Follow Wario64, I think, on Twitter. I don't know how he does it, but he gets the info right away, and he lets everybody know when those consoles are going up.
There's a couple other ones. I don't know if I can mention them on stream.
You can. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, there's Cheap Ass Gamer.
Cheap Ass Gamer. Shout out to them.
Cheap Ass Gamer. Yep. They're very much on the ball. And Fat Kid Deals. You'll get more from Fat Kid Deals, like stuff from Amazon, and I know.
Shout out to Fat Kid Deals. Funny name. I like it.
Yeah, but they when you look through it, you'll see a lot of deals that you could get from Amazon or
follow all three of those. Follow all three of those. The Wario64, Fat Kid Deals, and Cheap Ass Gamer. All really, really good dudes looking out for people trying to get PS5s and Xbox Series X's too. We're not very biased on this channel. We just really love our PlayStations. We have all the consoles. Lou and I and JJ that you mostly see on the podcast right now, we have all of them. But we mostly just really enjoy our PlayStation and Nintendo Switches. So don't think we're super biased. I want Microsoft to do good. So let's talk more good stuff for Microsoft. Microsoft purchased ZeniMax for $7.5 billion. And a lot of you are going to be like, what the hell is that? What the hell is ZeniMax? Well, it's the parent company for Bethesda. So Bethesda has been bought yesterday by Microsoft. $7.5 billion. Second biggest gaming transaction ever, next to Tencent buying. Tencent bought a Chinese company. Tencent bought something for $8.6 billion. I don't remember what it was. It was some mobile game division or something. That makes a ton of money. big time deal. 3 times as more as what they spent on Mojang for Minecraft, which was 2.5 billion. They get all of Bethesda studios, including Arcane, and Tango Gameworks. Both those companies are making PS5 exclusive games right now, which is pretty interesting, pretty funny. And Xbox already said they're gonna honor them. I want to know what my stream thinks of, and my panel. I gotta know, Lou, what do you think about this Bethesda being bought by Microsoft?
Just think about one thing real quick. How much did they buy Bethesda for, or how much did they buy them for? Did you say
$7.5 billion?
7.5 billion. Right now, the New York Mets are being sold for 2.45 billion, and that's a whole baseball team.
That's a baseball team. That's a great point, Lou, because a lot of people don't know this. The video game industry is the largest industry in the world. It's bigger than movies. It's bigger than Pornhub. It's bigger than all that. It's bigger than all that. It's huge. It makes more money than movie, TV shows, music. It is the number one thing that makes the most money out of the world. And 7.5 billion. That is a lot of money. That's a big hole in their pocket. What do you think overall, Lou? Because you said you want Microsoft to be more competitive. Is this a good sign of that?
Well, yes, this is very, very much a good sign for
definitely
Microsoft.
A ballsy move, Joel. Go ahead.
I would like to how do I put this well? I want to know more about this Bethesda thing because I want to know if we're gonna see games on the PS5, PlayStation consoles, or is this just it? This is it. They're gonna start making exclusives for Xbox from now on.
That's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up because there's some weird verbiage. I was gonna make a video yesterday since we weren't able to pod yesterday, but I was like, we're gonna talk about it on the pod tomorrow anyway, so it doesn't make. I'll break it down for you. I'll even leave the link to the article, if you want to read the whole verbiage from Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer already said they're gonna honor the 2 PS5 exclusive games. They're gonna honor that. A, I don't think just because of the goodness of their heart. B, because it could be a very big legal battle. These are video games are contractually obligated and stuff. So when you sign that deal, you kind of have to do it. They did the same thing when they bought Obsidian. Remember the Outer Worlds? Was supposed to come out to PS4 and everything else and Switch, and it did. They met those obligations. The verbiage is very weird. They're talking about. My gut feeling of what I read was they specifically said that they're going to honor those 2 games. They're gonna, after that, they're gonna talk about each game by a game by game basis if they can go on other consoles. So, for example, Elder Scrolls, stuff like that. My gut reaction is they're gonna be. It seems like Bethesda's still publishing their own games. They're still that was the interesting lingo in there, is that they said they're still gonna publish most of their games.
Mm-hmm.
This is obviously a big acquisition for them, big move. I don't know if it was you or JJ or anybody else on the pod. I don't know who said this, but I think one of you asked me if it was viable for them to get Bethesda, and I was like, hell no, no way, too much money. And apparently I'm wrong. Apparently I was wrong. I thought it was Lou or somebody that asked me, but I don't remember because we were talking about Warner Brothers being up for sale, and obviously that changed drastically. They said, no, we're not up for sale anymore. We make too much money from games.
Well, I did mention before about Bethesda's redemption. So
you mentioned what?
I meant about Bethesda's redemption after Fallout 76.
Yes.
And how they kind of like I forgot what the wording was, but I did give a shout out to Bethesda that they needed to get back on the right track.
Yeah,
I don't know if this is. I hope this is the right track for them.
You're absolutely correct, because the luster has worn off for them a little bit, right? People didn't overlook the glitches anymore. Fallout 76 was a dumpster fire, and they literally charged you $100 extra for a season pass and took all your inventory. because the game didn't work right. So hopefully this leads to better engines, better graphics, better money funding for them. This could be really, really good. But going back to the verbiage I was talking about, my apologies. That's the stuff I'm really excited for. Not the exclusivity stuff. Is that the fact that they might actually get a new engine. They might get some good funding. And they actually can make some really high quality Fallout and, Elder Scrolls, Starfield, whatever type games, whatever they want, Doom games, which would be great. Evil Within 3 is a possibility. They own Obsidian now, so Fallout New Vegas 2 is a possibility. It's very cool.
I think they've already said.
Go ahead.
I think they've already said that they're gonna start working on a New Vegas too.
Yeah, they kind of had that emoji where they shrugged, like I don't know, which to me sounds like they're working. That they're probably going to start working on that. They're also doing that new RPG Avowed as well. I believe that the guys that did the Outer Worlds / New Vegas, Obsidian. The verbiage I read though, it seems like some games are still obviously. This is for Game Pass right now. They're going to put all, Fallout 76, Fallout 4 for the 100th time, yada, 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 all these Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim for like the 50,000th time will be on Game Pass, which is great. They're trying, we just talked about how Microsoft's launch is, they already know their launch is probably not going to be super great, but they want to get you into that Game Pass. Their subscribers went up 5 million. They went from 10 million to 15 million. That's pretty big. So Game Pass is working for them. They know their first-party lineup can't compete right now with Sony. Not at this moment. This fruit of the labor of this Bethesda deal is going to take a while. And they said game-by-game basis. So what I think is going to happen is Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield will be coming on PS5. But obviously, those games will drop day one on Game Pass, where you got to spend $70 on PS5 for those games. So that's going to be the tug of war. Eventually, you think after spending $7.5 billion that they're gonna make they want to make that money back. A and B, they're gonna try to make some of these exclusives down the line. But a lot of these smaller games like Prey, Doom, Dishonor and stuff like that, I think will also come to other consoles for sure. They know they want to make money. I played Minecraft Dungeons with my little cousins. Shout out to Seth and Max, JJ's boys. And we were playing on Switch, and when I turned it on, it said Microsoft Studios, and it's like, oh shit, yeah, I forgot Minecraft is bought by Microsoft. They know money. They really know money. Microsoft knows business. They know money. This is a big, powerful move for them. I think it's great overall. It shows that they're not quitting, and I think that's the great part. But obviously, they want to make a lot of money. We don't know the other details, like how long they got to like for example, if Bill Gates. I didn't even know the games division had this much money. But for example, if Bill Gates cut the check, like, hey, I'm going to sign this deal. You can go get the studio, these studios, these 2,300 people, the 6 studios, whatever. Yada, yada, yada. But you have to make this back within 3 to 5 years. Let's just say that. Let's just say that's the deal. A lot of people think this could be Rare, that they're going to be like, they're not going to use Rare, like how Rare has become, not really that great. When they bought Rare, it was very exciting. At the time, like, oh shit, they bought Conquer Banjo. What are they going to do with all these IPs? And they basically virtually didn't touch any of those IPs at all. And they basically made Rare, what's it called, the Connect, the Connect sports games and shit like that. And people were really disappointed that, Rare wasn't what it used to be. I don't think they're going to make that same mistake twice. I think they really know. A, I think they want to make this value of Game Pass. And B, they want to make a shit ton of money. And I think that's the ultimate goal, is they're going to make a shit ton of money off this. But they're not that dumb not to put this on another console. They will put this on other consoles, I think, eventually. Not every single one. Some of these will be exclusive. I mean, if you're going to spend $7.5 billion, you figured some of these will be exclusive for them, right? Obviously.
Which big title is my question?
I think everything after Elder Scrolls 6. Because I feel like Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 already probably started production on PS5 a little bit. So I find that hard to for them to cancel. And also, That includes Elder Scrolls Online, right? They could easily cancel all of that on PS4 and be like, hey, you guys don't get to play it anymore. But you know what? They're not going to do that because let's just say there's like 40 million people playing Elder Scrolls on PS4. That's a lot of money. They're going to keep that on there. So they're not going to be a dick move. That's more of Sony probably doing that, if Sony did that, which is a more ballsy move. And a lot of people panicked and overreacted to this. A lot of Sony fans were like, oh my god, you got to buy Konami. Sony buying Konami was trending yesterday, which was super funny. Lou and I are going to put our thinking caps on later, and we're going to talk about that later. I just want to know the instant gut reaction from you guys. And Lou, do you have anything more about the $7.5 billion they just spent? Or you think this is really good deal?
I think it's a fantastic deal for them. This is, I mean, like, when you spend $7.5 billion, you got to make that money back. So my question is, where do they make it back? And what's going to be exclusive? Maybe Fallout New Vegas 2? I mean, Obsidian's there.
Yeah.
Is it going to be Fallout 5 or whatever the next Fallout game is going to be?
Yeah, probably. I think that's a good point. I think those Fallout games could be exclusive. The reason why I'm saying Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield probably won't be is because, like I said, I think they're ready in production already. They already got shit going around. The cool part is I hope Microsoft gives them a new engine and stuff like that. It seems like they're going to be pretty hands-off on some stuff. Obviously, they just want to make that Game Pass look really, really great right now, I think. Go ahead, Lou. My apologies.
No. I mean, that's all I can really think of right now is that I want to know more about how much Microsoft will, control Bethesda. I guess you would say, are they going to let them still continue to be everywhere? Or at what point do they just say, okay, it's going to be our studio now, and maybe the next Elder Scrolls game 7, which is going to be a long time from now.
Yeah, we'll be old ass men by then.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. Like,
yes,
when
exactly.
does it?
Yes, I know exactly. When
does Xbox cash in on that money? Because they got to make that money back.
Yeah, it's whatever makes them the most money.
Yep.
And they know that right now their first party IPs don't make money, and this is the cool part. Maybe the guys that do Doom, the guys that do Evil Within Tango Gameworks, maybe their next IPs will be exclusive to Microsoft, right? Now you can do a new IP, make whatever you want now. We'll give you a bunch of funding and go explore. And, again, we won't see the fruits of this labor for another 2 to 3 years, I think. It'll be a long time. Right now, this is a Game Pass move. We already talked about their launch lineup. I don't really effing know what they have besides third-party stuff that's going to be on PS5. I already think the PS5 launch lineup is far superior. PS5 is going to outsell the Xbox Series X easily, I think, this holiday. I think it already shows with the pre-orders. I mean, some of the second wave of pre-orders for PS5 have been gone within seconds, and it's nuts. It's crazy. And we already knew that this was going to be the hot item anyway. People, Sony spent many, many years building this foundation of first-party lineup. And it's paying off for them. Sony's making a lot of money, too. Obviously, Microsoft's worth $3 trillion. They're rich as shit. They can do whatever they want. But, Lou, do you think they're going to still be hungry? What other studio are they going to go after?
That's a good question. Microsoft's going to be very hungry.
Yeah. Or do you think after spending $7.5 billion, they're going to be like, hey, we got to chill for a little bit. Let's make some money back right now?
No, I think they're going to try to go out there and make one more acquisition. Okay. And then I think they're going to settle. I don't know who could they really get? Like, what are some of the options?
All right, so breaking news. Lou and I just got hired at Microsoft Worldwide Game Studios. I'm president. He's vice president. What next studio are we going to get for Microsoft? I got one in my mind already. I wonder what you're thinking. It has somebody that is blue in it.
Somebody that is blue in it? Or yes. That's the first part of the name? Because I'm thinking...
Nope. Somebody that's blue that runs really fast.
Oh, Sonic?
Sega. We go after Sega.
Yes. Yeah, they could. They could do that.
You know why we
Yep.
also go after Sega? You know what? You heard Xbox has more buyers. That's what you heard. The stock is much lower on the Series X, man. There wasn't that many compared to a PS5. PS5 is going to be killing it this fall, LG, for sure.
PlayStation was much more prepared.
Yeah, like PlayStation's making so much money. Well, I'll talk about the numbers in a second, and you can look them up as well. But the reason why I say that, where does that hurt Sony the most?
Sonic. Like, Sonic is going to hurt them the most.
I'd say no. Not Sonic.
You don't think so?
Sega owns Atlas. And what does Atlas make?
Persona.
Persona. You hit them hard right there. You hurt them in the gut. And you get Sega. I don't think there was rumors going around that they were trying to buy Sega, or there were in talks about Sega. I don't think that's really going to happen, to be honest with you. I don't think Sega's going to get bought out anytime soon, just to be honest with you. They're going to try to go hard for a Japanese studio. That was the one I put in my head immediately, because they would hurt Sony the most. And to be honest with you, I'd be pretty effing salty. I'd rather play Persona on a PS4 controller than on an Xbox controller. No offense to Xbox. I'm kind of a loyalist to that fault, and I really enjoy Persona on my PlayStation console. So that's a little bit of fanboyism right there, I'll admit that. But I won't lie about it. I ain't gonna lie about it. I'll be a little salty about it. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I actually think they won't be. I know there was, I think, a recent article saying they're going to be more aggressive. They definitely are going to try to get another Japanese studio. I think they're going to simmer down a little bit, because I think this bolsters their Game Pass. They want to make some more money back now from that $7.5 billion, because that's a lot of money. It'd be different if they bought Bethesda for, $3 billion, right? That means you have $4.5 billion more to spend, right?
Yeah.
But you spent $7.5 billion. You spent a shit ton. That's a lot of money, and they could probably recoup it quick. But I'm just guessing. Like, maybe they got a 3 to 5 year idea of how to make that back, stuff like that. Maybe they make it back instantly. The gaming industry makes a lot of money. That's what I would go for, because it hurts Sony the most. I don't think that will. I'm just going with my gut. I just don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think. Was there any other studio you were thinking about, Lou?
I'm trying to think off the top of my head, who would be open to going to Microsoft.
Yeah, like what Japanese studio? That's why I went with Sega, because we're gonna play devil's advocate, and we're gonna put on our PlayStation, Sony thinking hats.
Japanese, I'm not entirely sure of.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure of. I don't even know if they want to go in that direction. I think they're just going to go to
They do. They
buy.
said, Phil, for a couple of years now, saying he wants to kind of get more into the Japanese market and make a Japanese studio and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna be. I don't know if they're gonna be picky if one comes available. You understand what I mean?
It just, we don't know how much money they have left. We don't know how much. I know they're a $1 trillion company, but it's not all gaming. We don't know how much their gaming makes. More of Microsoft is, there's so many other things going on in Microsoft. Chips being made, Windows, computers, a bunch of other products that are being made for Microsoft, phones, that, they got a lot of money thrown around everywhere. So we don't know how much gaming. That's why I didn't think Bethesda was an option, because I didn't think they had $7.5 billion to spend on gaming. But I like this move. This makes them more viable, and it's not them laying down anymore. Now they're going to try to fight back a little bit, and I like that. Competition's great. Competition is always great. And
yes,
Gears and Halo don't have the luster for a lot of people like they used to, especially Halo. Halo Star has fallen, so they need some other stuff. Again, it's going to take some time. It's going to take a few years. I'm going to say 2 to 3 before we see anything big Bethesda from them. unless it's a smaller game or something like that. Like a easy Game Pass game like Battletoads or something to throw on there. But that model's working for them for sure. But we're gonna see. They bought a bunch of studios recently. I hope this doesn't turn into Rare and they do something with it. And also, PlayStation fans or gaming fans, don't overreact. This is great for the gaming industry. Sony's going to do so. They're going to buy some more studios too. Sony's been talking about it for a long time. Now let's get into the fun part. The main part of the show that we're going to talk about is the PS5 showcase and the PS5, after show, fiasco. We'll talk about that after. But what was your overall thoughts of the PS5 showcase, Lou? Like, what'd you think about it?
I really thought that at the PS5 showcase, I thought they did a phenomenal job. I thought everything was presented well. I give the show a solid A. I think it was very good. There was a couple of things that really, actually just one thing really that I just didn't like, and it was no, well, I shouldn't say I didn't like, but I'm just not interested in it. I think it's the Deathloop game. Deathloop.
Yeah, Deathloop. Yeah, the one, the game that's technically owned by Microsoft now.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know that at the time.
No, I don't think they knew it when they signed that deal. They didn't. They probably didn't think they were getting bought out.
Yeah. So that's probably a shock to them right now. But yeah, otherwise I thought it was a very good show. I saw some people complaining about the price, but not too many.
Yeah.
So that's good. But yeah, I thought it was a very good show. I liked the games that they showed. I'm gonna get them. I already got them pre-ordered.
We'll talk about our favorites and our least favorites in a second. I do want to talk about my thoughts about it too. I want to give this a 9.5, a 10 out of 10. Like, this was a spectacular show for me. I love what they saw. We saw a lot of gameplay. Miles Morales, Demon Souls, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. Looks insane with Virgil. I know that's an older game. We saw Oddworld Soulstorm. We saw the Harry Potter game. I'm not even a Harry Potter fan, but it looks pretty cool. I know there's some drama with J.K. Rowling and stuff. We're not going to get into that here. You can go look it up yourself. I'm just judging games by games, not by authors of books and shit. So
yeah,
that looks pretty good. They opened up with Final Fantasy 16 being an exclusive. It looks insane. I wish it looked a little. It has the Final Fantasy 14 style. It looks very medieval, harkening back to Final Fantasy 9 and 6. Very medieval like. Kind of looks Witcher to me. Like, one-on-one combat system so far. Hopefully we have some more party members and stuff. The combat looks... They took the guy from one of the lead designers in Devil May Cry 5 for the combat. And it shows in the combat system in this game. It looks insane. It looks very un-Final Fantasy. So I'm interested to see... Still a hype announcement, even though we kind of knew it was probably going to happen, right? It's still cool to see. They ended the show with God of War Ragnarok teaser. Didn't need to show any gameplay. All you need to do was just play that music, show the symbol, and just have Kratos talk for a few lines. 2021, that's big for that game. What else am I missing? That was probably the biggest highlight. Am I missing one? The PlayStation Plus collection, outstanding. They're giving out 18 of the greatest PlayStation hits mostly, and some third-party love like Mortal Kombat 10 and Monster Hunter World and stuff like that. Resident Evil 8 was there. Slightly new trailer, not completely new trailer. But man, those were excellent showcases. 9.5, 10 out of 10. Man, it was really good. Really good. I'm kind of with Deathloop. I think it's cool, but it's one of those games that I would probably prefer to get on Plus or something. Right? Yeah. No offense to Arcane. I think they do a great job with Prey and stuff like that. But I don't know. What was your favorite game of the show, though?
My favorite game was Demon Souls appealed to me the most.
Woo!
Because I missed out on I missed out on that game when I was younger. So the remake really,
A lot of
that's what
people
they're
did.
calling it, right? They're calling it a remake, or they're just calling it Demon Souls.
It's a remake. It is a remake, shot for shot, but I think they did add some new stuff because if you look back on the video, one of the
Mm-hmm.
pillars is fixed now.
Yeah.
That might lead to a new area that was cut in the original game because they couldn't fit it on the PS3.
Okay. So that's gonna be very interesting. That's the game that really
You're
caught
right
my
about
eye
that,
the
Joel.
most.
FNAF security breach. Go ahead, Lou. Sorry.
That was a game that really caught my eye, and I was very intrigued with. Um, God of War. I mean, it got me excited like I was a little kid when I heard it. I do have I do have a concern with that, but
Yeah,
I'll
we'll
bring
talk
that
about it in a
up.
second. We'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah, yeah. So,
We'll talk about that in a second. That's in the next part. My favorite one was this is probably my biasness of Spider-Man being my favorite character. It was probably Miles Morales and Demon Souls. Those were probably my two favorite um, of the show. It looks so fun. I like that they. A lot of people don't know, but Miles, the spider that bit Miles, gave him a bunch of different powers. I like how they showcased that all off in that demo. He has the electric web ability, to sting people. He can go
yeah,
invisible. I like the fact I've rewatched the trailer a few times. You can tell he's very naive. He's still learning how to control his powers, learning how to be a superhero. I'm interested to see what happened. Did Peter give him the suit? Where's Peter at? What's going on here? They said the Tinkerer is going to be one of the bigger villains. Do you think that purple girl was the Tinkerer, though?
no,
What do you
no,
think
I don't
that
think.
is? Because I got a pretty good idea. And I'm going to spoil Spider-Man 1, so you guys got to...
Okay. Who do you think it is?
I
Because
think
I'm
it's Wrath. And who Wrath
really
is Yuri. Yuri Watanabe, the cop that you're friends with in Spider-Man 1. If you play the DLC,
that's right.
she
She goes
loses
like
her force
missing.
and kind of goes rogue vigilante. I think that's her. I think that's 100% her, unless they're completely changing the Tinkerer, and that's the Tinkerer now, is she's the Tinkerer, which would be dope. That'd be fantastic. That'd be great. But I think that's her, 100%.
I totally forgot about that. That's actually a good point that you brought up. I thought you would be more into Peter's story, but you could on like maybe we'll see Peter make an appearance in this game.
Something
You
happened.
think
Do you
that's
think Peter
possible?
gave him the suit?
Huh?
Do you think Peter gave Miles his suit? Like, how did Miles
I
get his suit?
I think he probably gave him his suit. Maybe he went away with MJ. There was something that was going on at the end there, if I remember correctly,
You're
where
right.
she was
MJ went
going.
off to, like, Silver Sable's country, which is at, like, war right now. So,
Yeah. So there's something that happened there. So maybe he went with her.
yes.
Maybe he upgraded his suit. Maybe and he gave him that one. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's a
because
very
it's definitely Miles' suit from the comics, but in all the times Peter was teaching him to be Spider-Man, he had Peter's mask on.
yes.
So I'm assuming Peter built it for him. That's my guess. I'm assuming Yuri is part of this, the gang, this new Tinkerer gang. She might be the Tinkerer. Maybe that's what they're calling her now. Traditionally in the comics, she becomes Wrath or Wraith. I think it's Wraith. Correct me down below. So that's really cool that they're kind of doing that. I almost thought at the end of Spider-Man 1 that MJ was going to be like the new Miles, the new Spider-Woman, something like that. Because the spider kind of falls on her, but then they kind of did the interesting twist. And this is the cool part about Miles. Like I said, him being naive is kind of showing through. He's not able to handle the situation well as a kid. And this is the great part because Peter... What I like what they did with Peter's story is we didn't see the same old Peter story. He's been Spider-Man for 6-7 years. Uncle Ben's been dead for a long time. they pulled no stakes with the ending. I won't spoil the ending. I'm not JJ on this podcast here. And I gave you a fair warning on the Yuri shit, so don't come at my head on that one. Don't. The game's almost 3 years old now, so don't. All right. Yeah, all right. But it's really interesting what they're going to do in the world they're building, and I like the fact that Miles is just in this universe. He's not from a different universe, so maybe they're going to have some Gwen Stacy stuff. I think they're going to build their own Spider-Verse eventually. But I'm interested about Peter. Don't get me wrong. I think this is the cool part with Miles. We get to see him grow up and be his own Spider-Man. Without his, without a certain character by his side and stuff like that. So I'm interested about those questions. Those are just stuff as a Spider-Man fan I was asking. This is great for people that don't know Miles Morales. They get to know him a lot better with his Spider-Man abilities and stuff like that. He's very different. He's not the same as Peter. And I like that. I like that a lot. Different personality-wise, too. He's not the same personality-wise. So I'm interested to see that. Five Nights at Freddy's, like Joel said, interesting that there's a huge visual upgrade from the PC games. Interested that it's a PS5 exclusive and PS4. Very interesting stuff. I thought it was a fantastic game of the show. Was there a least favorite game? Was it Deathloop for you, like you said earlier?
It was Deathloop. Yeah. Deathloop was probably like the most anticlimactic part of the show for me.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in it. Like, I haven't really seen anybody really talk about that game.
I know. It's interesting to see because it was supposed to be a launch game.
Yeah.
And I think that was probably its best chance to get most of its sales was at launch because people are more prone to pick, things up at launch, right?
Yeah.
PlayStation exclusive for now, yeah. So they paid up front. It could be a timed exclusive, like you said there, Joel. Everyone, chill out. We're not. I know we got some Xbox fans in the channel, but chill out. Don't come at our throats, okay? We're just saying. I'm just spitting the truth. And I know you guys are just having fun. I'm just fucking with all y'all. Calm down. Least favorite for me was probably. I don't want to be a hater because the game looked really good, but I'm not a Harry Potter fan, and it's the Harry Potter game.
Really?
It looked very good, very good. It looked like something I play, but I'm happy for the Harry Potter fans. I don't understand why WB hasn't taken more advantage of Harry Potter. Why are there not more Harry Potter games in general? This one looks very cool. You make your own character. It's an RPG. It's 100 years before the events of Harry Potter, before those books. So there's you ain't gonna see Harry and Hermione in any of those. It's your own character. You're in Hogwarts, living your life in an RPG style. It looks really cool. But I'm just not a Harry Potter fan, so I don't want to be like a hater. It looked really good though. It looked really fantastic, but it's probably that or Deathloop for me. Like Deathloop looks good. I like the premise that you're in this endless loop of death and you're trying to get further than you were before. But I don't know. It's something like I said, more plus for me.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the price. PS5 disc drive, $500, $499. PS5 without disc drive, $399. Very competitive price. That's why it's probably the most popular one right now. I was shocked by it. It has the lower quantity overall as well, Sony said. But very cool. What do you think of the price, Lou?
It's exactly as I predicted. I gave two scenarios.
You did. You hit it on the nail. But I'm going to steal it and edit it where I won. And I got it right.
Yep, you could try to do that. But it would never work out that way for you. But but I did give two scenarios. If they really wanted to hurt Xbox, $399 each. But I really thought they were gonna go $499 and $399.
Yep.
I know you disagreed and thought that $100 more for a disk drive, just doesn't sound reasonable.
Yeah.
But,
it's weird, but we talked about it, not on stream, but we talked about it off stream.
Yes.
Why are
Yes,
they willing
and
to take that $100 hit on the digital version?
um, say that again. You came in and out.
Okay.
Did you ask me a question?
Yes. Give me 1 second. Joel just said I'm not psyched for Harry Potter either. But it's really cool for all the Harry Potter fans, though, man. I don't want to take away from anything. I'm not like throwing a jab at JJ and stuff or anything like that. I know people love Harry Potter. It's a great thing. It's just not my jam. I just think they made Wizards really lame. That's all. All right, I said it. Um, what I asked Lou though is why are they willing to take that $100 hit on the digital version of the PS5?
Um, Probably because they're gonna make that money back easier.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
gonna
You
make
have
that
no
money
option.
back.
You have to buy from the PlayStation Store.
Yes.
How much did
Yes.
the PlayStation Store this fiscal year make digitally?
That I have no clue. I do
What's
not
your
know the
guess?
numbers on that. To take a guess,
Yeah, just take a guess. What's your guess on? I want to see what you're thinking.
I wonder if it's in the billions. Is it in the billions?
I'm not gonna say
No.
anything. Just go ahead.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell
I'm
you
gonna,
after. I just want to see your guess, cause
okay. I'm gonna say about 500 million. I'm gonna throw that number out there.
500 million, 78 billion
Wow. Did not
from
Did not
digital
expect that.
sales, microtransactions, everything from the PlayStation Store. Just this fiscal year, you can go look it up. I forgot the website. Type in how much PlayStation made off digital sales this year. 78 billion.
Wow.
So charging less for that digital console, 100 less, and this is why you get paid the big bucks, because I wasn't thinking that. I'm like, why would they take that? I just don't understand. Now it makes a whole bunch of sense because there's no option. You have to buy from the PlayStation Store. You're gonna make you buy 2 PlayStation PS5 exclusives, you get all that money. You don't have to fight anybody for it. It's all
It's
pure
true.
profit.
Yeah, it's true. And I know some people feel different about that in terms of that digital games should be cheaper. I've heard that argument way before.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you feel the same way after seeing the console being $100 cheaper and how much money they've made? Do you feel that way?
No.
That they should be cheaper than the disc and et cetera, et cetera?
That's a good point. That's a very good point. I want to say no because I think the devs, video game development cost has gone through the roof. Almost every game,
Yeah.
like some of the Sony's exclusives are 150 million plus, 200 million plus to make. Many years, 7 years of hard work, of 100-hour weeks for a lot of people. Obviously, I do think it is an issue that they did raise the price on video games. But because obviously you want to spend less, right? You want to spend, you would prefer to spend $50, $40 on a game than 70, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I'm just gonna speak on me. I'm not gonna speak for it. I know it's hard for a lot of people. I spent $180 on 2 games within like 2 weeks. I spent $100 on the Mamba Forever Edition 2K, and I spent $80 for Avengers to get it 3 days early. And I tend to get collector's editions of games all the time anyway. That's why I prefer.
Yeah.
You see all the shit behind me. The things you guys don't see is all the shit on the floor. All the collector's editions and everything I got. I do game share with my cousin JJ, so that helps out a lot for some games. But I'm all for developers kind of getting their money, kind of getting a bigger cut. It doesn't suck, yes, but Super Nintendo, I sent this to the group chat. There was a lot of Super Nintendo games in the 90s were like $80, $90 sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they were.
And the same thing, I feel really bad for Europe, because Europe is, to get a PS5 game in Europe is like $90. And that's a little pricey. I think that's, but to pay $70 for Miles Morales and Spider-Man remastered, I'll do that. I don't care. Demon's Souls is worth $70 for me. You know.
And they've also confirmed that there will not be a standalone remaster for Spider-Man, so that's going to be a part of Miles Morales.
Yes, you have to get it through. Otherwise, if you just want
Yep.
Miles Morales, it's $50. That's a good deal.
Yes.
Really good
You
deal.
get
But
it.
$20 more,
You
get
get the
two games.
first one for
Yep, go ahead.
$20 more.
Yep.
I was gonna say you get the first one remastered. If you're a trophy guy like I am, you get the new trophy list and basically everything. What is it? Enhanced, right? They enhance the graphics much.
Yeah, they
You get
fixed a lot
everything
of things. It's
basic.
not a simple remaster. You can read it on the PlayStation blog. 3 new suits, 3 new
Yep.
amazing suits. Hint, hint, hint. So I'm thinking Amazing Spider-Man. That's like the only suits that are missing from that movie, from those movies. All the other movie suits are in the game. So I'm assuming that's where they're going with the verbiage there.
Yeah.
Completely remastered. Things are going to look better. The ray tracing, the SSD, the lighting effects. Demon Souls and Ratchet and Clank really showed the SSD. I know Ratchet and Clank wasn't in this showcase; it was in the last one. But them going to worlds of world like that, Demon Souls when he touched the sword and he was instantly in the next world. It took him 2 seconds. I still think they need to show off that more with the UI and stuff. I think there'll be another state of play in October before the PS5 comes out, and they'll show the UI and how fast games load and shit like that. I think they're still going to do that.
Well, they did though with Ratchet and Clank. I don't know if you caught when they started their last trailer or gameplay. They there was the loading screen, and all the guy did was press X, and the game loaded immediately.
Oh, I did miss it. Yeah, I missed it then. Yeah, I still think they want to show that off because a lot of people only watch this one thing.
Yeah.
So I think they will have another state of play or a PlayStation blog that shows off the UI because I think that is important. I know you really want to see that. A lot of people really want to see that.
Yes.
To me, I just can't wait to spoon it every night and take it out on a date and walks on the beach. Again, I feel very fortunate to get one. Very awesome. I'm excited to play Demon Souls. Excited to play Spider-Man Remastered and Miles Morales. We'll do a full unboxing and everything for you here. PlayStation Plus collection, I think, is an awesome deal. Was there anything more about this showcase you wanted to talk about, or can we move on, Lou?
No. I think we can safely move on. Well, I want to see if you bring it up. So, what's the next topic?
Okay.
There's something that
One thing I
wanted
want
to
to point
talk
out
about
PlayStation Plus collection. A lot of people are comparing it as Sony's answer to the Game Pass, and I would say no. No chance in hell. There's no chance in hell Sony can do a Game Pass like Microsoft can, because Sony has too many great first parties and make too much money off them to do that. Where Microsoft, I don't want to say they're devalued, but there's not a lot of first party content, at all. Really, that's why they're able to do that. That was the route they took because they realized they don't have the first party lineup to match with Sony at this moment. That could all change in a couple years with Bethesda. We'll see. They could get more studios as well, and try that as well. I think Sony's not stopping. I think Sony's going to be getting more studios. So there's a lot of rumors that they're trying to get rights for a lot of Konami games and stuff already. That's been floating around for a long time. I don't think they'll buy Konami, but they'll buy the titles off them for making game purposes and stuff. Basically a business partnership. The PS Plus collection, I see it more as like Nintendo Switch online, where they put NES and Super NES games on there. That's how I really see it as. So people were really disappointed of not having PS3, PS2, PS1. I think that's how they can do it eventually, is the PS Plus collection. But I wouldn't compare it to Game Pass. It's nowhere near Game Pass.
Well, you could, if you really want to play the PS3 games, there are a lot of PS3 games on PlayStation Now.
Yes, and they already made PlayStation Now a lot better. It's a much better service than it used to be.
It's much better than what I remember it being when I first tried it out.
Yes.
So when I first tried it out, when it first came out, I was like, man, this is not that good.
Yes,
but now,
it wasn't. It was very bad.
Yeah, now I actually bought a year subscription because it was on sale for 44 or something like that, and I think it's worth the tryout. I
Yes.
really do. It's not Game Pass, but you know what? It's still nice.
Yeah, because not
So,
everybody's played Persona 5. Not everybody's played God of War. Not everyone's played, Last of Us Part 1 and, what am I missing? Uncharted 4 and stuff like that. Detroit Become Human. They have a lot of great games on there. Monster Hunter World for free at launch for your PS5. I think that's really great. Is it as valued as Game Pass? I wouldn't say so. But, I mean, Game Pass has a lot of shovelware, too. There's a lot of games you're not going to play on there. You know? They,
yeah.
they switch out every games every month, like Netflix. It's a great deal. We talked about it several times. I don't want to hear it in chat. We talked very highly of Microsoft several times in chat. Game Pass is the best deal in gaming. But I don't always think Microsoft did it out of the goodness of their heart. They did it because they were getting their ass kicked. That is the bottom. That is the truth. They realized that they can't compete with Sony with first party. They're losing the hardware battle. Where can we get people? Subscription service, and it's a brilliant move. It's a
Also,
fantastic move.
also the other thing I question
Yeah,
with Microsoft, how do you capitalize on the success of Game Pass? Like, you're not going to just milk it, right? Yeah. What are you going to do next? Because
yeah,
you're not
yeah,
going to just milk it into the ground and Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass, like they did with Halo and Gears. Well, I
yeah,
feel like they did with Halo and Gears.
yeah.
Is Halo and Gears, Halo and Gears, Halo and Gears. What are you going to do with Game Pass? I mean, what's next after Game Pass? Like, it's very successful. We saw the 15 million
You're right about that too.
subscribers.
You're 100%.
But I need to know what you're gonna do next. Like,
My
you
question
know,
is too, Lou. They're doing really well. It's very successful. It's 15 a month right now, I think, right? What
yeah.
if that goes up $5 because they got Bethesda now? Do they lose
I
subs? Do they, because it's 20 a month now? Do they lose subs on that?
I think they do if they go up. I don't know if that's been confirmed. I don't
No,
know
no,
if
no. I'm
you.
just saying, what if that, like, you're looking at, Mr. Bill Gates, and he's like, hey, you got to make this shit back in 2 to 3 years. I'm not saying that's how it
Yes.
went. I'm just going from my business background of school and working at said place for many, many years doing the marketing over there. You know, if you're if you got to make this back with 2 to 3 years, which they could easily do, like, do we sneakily keep up resing, Game Pass prices, or because this happened to Netflix, right? This is going to happen to Disney Plus. This has happened to Hulu. You know, as the quantity got better, the quality got better. People had to pay more. Netflix used to be dirt cheap, man.
Yeah.
Now it's like
a lot,
$12.99 for a month, right, or something.
a lot of people also forget that Netflix used to be DVDs in the mail. That's
Yes,
how it first came out.
yes,
But yes, you are absolutely correct. And it used to actually be like $10 a month
yeah,
with streaming, and it used to be the DVD, like one or two DVDs that you would get to rent or something like that.
yeah. You're right for
Um,
$9.99 because I think just streaming was like $7.99 or $8.99 or something.
yes, but yes, I do think that that's a very valid point. How do you make your money back? And sometimes you just don't make it right back.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Like
a good
from
point.
Bethesda. Like, you don't make it right back from Bethesda, so you have to make it somewhere else.
Yeah,
So where do you make it, or where else do you make it? And I think that that's a very good point. Does Game Pass go up $5 more
yeah.
per
I'm
month?
not saying. By the way, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it might happen. Down the road if they keep getting more and more subs, they're like, hey, we gotta, because the data also shows that they've lost a lot of money on Game Pass. It's nice to have
What
those subs, but they lost a lot of money because you got to pay for all those rights for those games to be on there, and it's not
Yes,
cheap.
and what people need to understand too is that yes, Xbox has a lot of money. They're worth how many trillion? I
3 trillion,
forgot
my
the
friend.
number. 3 trillion. But they're not going to just lose money.
Yes.
They're very smart. They've made trillions of dollars for some
Yes.
reason. Why did they make trillions of dollars? Because they invest somewhere and they make it back somewhere else.
Yes.
So the question is with Bethesda, do they know? Like, is Bethesda going to give them that money back right away? Right away? I don't think so. So
Nope.
how?
No,
Where
I
else
don't
do
think
you
so either.
make? Yeah. So where else do you make it up?
Yeah.
And it's a very valid point. Very valid. So does it go to Game Pass? You know,
Do you know how much Game Pass is for a year?
is it $60? Oh, is it $100? I
I
think I
don't remember,
remember.
so I was wondering if they do something there where they get like you buy. Maybe they have a deal for Xbox Live and Game
Yeah.
Pass bundled together, and maybe you sell it for like 110 or 120 or something.
Don't forget too. I'm a Game Pass I have Game Pass.
Yeah,
But I
subscriber.
also got it. I've also got it subscriber. Yes. I also got it because of that deal that happened, $1
Yes,
until the
yes,
rest of your Xbox Live subscription. So, we'll see how if that's still in play going forward. Those
yeah.
type of awesome deals, because that was an awesome deal. It made me buy a year of Xbox Live just so
Incredible
I
deal.
can.
That's how we did our Gears of War marathon. Because JJ, I think he just signed up for the $1.
Yeah. So it's an incredible deal.
Game Pass is a
Um,
lot, Joel. You said. Okay.
yeah. So
I
it's
For the year,
very
it's a lot for
interesting.
the year. I got you. I'm sure it has to be because it's such too good of a deal. All right, Lou. Let's go on after the show. So after the show was over, everybody was super excited after the PS5 showcase happened. To this day, I'm still 6 to midnight. I'm through the roof,
Yes.
throbbing as we speak. After that, still, but there was a little bit after the show drama, a little bit. Um, some might say a pre-order fiasco because they said, hey, they had a video saying when Jeff Keighley debuted the DualSense a couple months ago, one of the heads of marketing or something, I forgot his name, he's like, no, you'll have ample time to pre-order your PS5. Walmart and
Hmm.
GameStop was like, nah, man.
Let's call that what it really was, because I know PlayStation apologized. They
Yes.
shouldn't have apologized. It was really Walmart and GameStop that were just like, we're ready to do it now, so we're
Yeah.
gonna do it now,
Yeah.
and it happened now. So,
Yeah, it went
yeah,
up quick. Lou and I were texting each other, texting the whole group, trying to get one. Had one in a Walmart cart, gone instantly. Shit. Alright, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try, and we keep looking at Walmart. The Target went up. I passed on that. I passed on that one, and I was like, alright. Then I had that one in Best Buy cart for like 5 hours, and I finally was able to get one, and Best Buy came in clutch. I couldn't get to the Amazon. The Amazon one was gone like instantly for me. I don't know if I'm missing. I didn't get a reservation for the PS5 store or PlayStation Store one. I signed up for
yeah.
that, but I didn't get a invite to that. So I was very fortunate to get one. I don't see Sony apologizing as a bad thing. I think it's a smart thing because they probably did. They probably really intended to have it start tomorrow. But even if they have a set date, as you found out with Microsoft today, things are still going to go crazy. These consoles are very hot right now. People want them ASAP. We live in the COVID world right now. A lot of people are home. A lot of people have a lot of money. A lot of people have their checks still, right? Ready to be cashed. So people are ready to go. And we already know, we've already talked about it. I still think, even before the Bethesda news, I still think the PS5 is the hot ticket item. It's the Tickle Me Elmo, if you guys remember that, showing my age there a little bit, of this holiday. People are going to go crazy. People want this PS5 now. It's the hot item. They have the great exclusive. I think their launch lineup is probably the best they ever had. You know, Miles Morales, Demon Souls, Destruction Derby All-Star, Sackboy Adventure. I think these all games have great potential. Then you got the great third-party support. You got the Call of Duty. You got Assassin's Creed. You're going to have Godfall as an exclusive, right? You know? So, I mean, I think their lineup is excellent. Great lineup for PS5. Probably, again, the best they've ever done. I think that's going to be the hot item. Do you agree, Lou? What do you think?
Yeah, I think their lineup is the best they've had. Certainly better than the PS4 one. I don't remember what they did to PS3. To be quite honest, I don't know what was released.
Resistance, Mobile Suit Gundam, and something else.
Okay, so yeah, that and PS2, forget it. I don't think so.
I think they had Tekken Tag. That was like the big one. Tekken Tag, the Bouncer.
Okay.
Which
But
my
this
dad
is
didn't let me
probably
get. Thanks, Dad. Star Wars Starfighter. It wasn't super great.
But yeah, it's been rumored for a while that they wanted to improve on the launch compared to the PS4, and I think they have. I think they did a good job of it. Sackboy is going to be very interesting. It's kind of like PS4 version of Knack.
Yeah.
I just don't know how well it's going to do.
3D Land or 3D World? You ever play that on your Wii U?
Say that again?
Did you ever play Super Mario 3D World? The one with the cat suit?
Was that on the Wii U? Because I don't have a Wii U.
Yeah, it's going to be on the Switch soon, so that's another good pickup for people.
Yeah, I did not. I did not have a Wii U.
That's what Sackboy looks like, because 4 of us can play at the same time. Like, I want to play that game with you guys, but I already got my 2 I'm getting. You know, I'm getting Demon Souls and Spider-Man, 100%.
I'm thinking about getting it because I have so much rewards at Best Buy.
Yeah.
Like, I was looking at it today, and I was like, yeah, but I really want the headset, and the headset seems like too. Yeah, it seems like it's hard to come by right now because my buddy at GameStop said place, excuse me.
We're all fudging up today. Everybody's fired! Everybody!
He said he put $5 down on it, and they canceled his pre-order.
Oh, wow. So, I've been looking at one for a while, and I can't find one anymore, Lou. I think those things come back in stock by the time November hits, though.
Yeah.
I think we'll be able to get one eventually.
It would be interesting to see the quality, not quality, the quantity of that item. Yeah. Because right now there's still extra controllers. And supposedly there was not going to be that many controllers at launch.
Yeah, there's a ton. Like you said, you can still pre-order controllers. Games will never be an issue. You're going to be able to get the games.
Yeah.
Especially if you're getting a digital console, too. I'm going to have some stuff to play at launch because JJ, he's still looking for his console, but he's thinking about 3 games, possibly, as well. Let's go to the next thing, which is the most interesting thing that a lot of people had a problem with. And we hold Microsoft to this standard a lot. But I still think it's a little different. Cross-gen games. Miles Morales, Sackboy's Big Adventure, and then the most interesting one, Horizon 2 Forbidden Forest, is a cross-gen game. PS4 and PS5. When you first heard the news, Lou, how did you feel? Gut reaction about these 3 games?
I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
But I understand why they did it. The important thing to me is, and I wanted to bring this up right now, PlayStation 5 needs to have its exclusive games to show off its power.
Yes.
So, it needs to be God of War. Yeah. And it needs like God of War.
We definitely got Demon Souls. Demon Souls, I know that was a fiasco too because it said PC and other titles in the future, but that ended up being an error. That's a PlayStation 5 exclusive.
Yeah.
Sony owns that IP, so I don't know. They're open to put it on PC because they put Horizon and a few others on PC, Death Stranding and so forth. That's definitely exclusive. That's showing the power. Ratchet and Clank definitely showing the power as well. That's a big time exclusive as well. That's a great point you bring up. Before we get to that, I want to know, is that a bigger deal? Is people overblowing this? Should we hold them, PlayStation, to the same standard we held on Xbox? We give Xbox a lot of shit about this, right? That Halo's got to be on 7 different consoles, right?
Yes.
What's the difference between Sony, though?
I think we should hold them in the same. We should hold them accountable the same way.
Yeah.
Because unless they plan on having this console for the next 10 years,
yeah,
which I don't think that that's going to be, you have a life cycle. You have a life cycle of this console. About 4 to 5 years, and 3 of it you're still making PS4 games.
Yep.
So,
Sony tends to usually have their consoles go on for a long time.
Yes.
The PS4 is 7 years old now, going on 8.
Yes. And I totally understand that. But the one thing that they didn't mention in their articles, they said they were going to continue to support PS4 for another 3 years.
Another 3 to 4 years. I brought that up too. I have that written down as well. But go ahead.
Yes. But the point that I'm trying to make real quick is that they said that, but they did not specifically say that every game was going to be supported, the exclusives, for the next 3 to 4 years.
No, I don't think they're going to be. I think it's a no-brainer. You have 125 million people on there.
Yes.
On the PS4. And to abandon those people is crazy. What did I just tell you from the PlayStation Store? They make $78 billion from the PlayStation Store. So I think it's smart to keep that going a little bit. To be honest with you, I already thought Miles, because how fast it came out, I really kind of thought it was going to be like a PS4 game anyway.
What that tells me is that those games are close.
The big one is Horizon. That's the interesting one.
Well, what it tells me is that those games are ready to come out soon.
Yes.
And that's why I say God of War, which I expected. They said 2021. I expected to be sometime in November, September type of range.
I still think this is a little bit different than Xbox because the quality is much better on PlayStation right now. And I hate to keep saying that, but their first-party lineup is the hot sauce right now, right?
Yeah.
It's killing it. The Miles Morales, I've watched that trailer a few times. The PS5 version looks absolutely gorgeous. The thing running at 4K, the frames, the lighting, the effects of the puddle, the water. Don't get me wrong, I think Miles will still look really good on PS4. It's going to look very comparable to the original Spider-Man game on there, I think, which still looks fantastic. But there will be a big upgrade for PS5. Demon's Souls, I don't think it's coming to PS4. Ratchet & Clank, I don't think it's coming to PS4. Lou already brought up the interesting point, God of War. Since it's coming out so soon, is it next-gen like Horizon? I've heard a rumor that it is next-gen. And I also heard a rumor that it's not next-gen. A lot of people, I think, just seem upset because of the misinformation delivered from Sony. I think a lot of people thought, Miles was just going to be PS5 only. They talked about how they believed in next-gen only, stuff like that.
That doesn't bother me as much, though.
Yeah.
Because it's so close to launch.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I mean.
Yeah, these games,
like, they have more time to.
Demon's Souls is gonna look like shit in like 2 or 3 years compared to the next games.
Yes, but that's the thing, though, is that I need to know how long this console's life cycle is going to be. Because if it's going to be 6 years and you're still supporting games 3 to 4 years in for both, I mean, that's not enough.
Yeah.
Truthfully, it's not enough. Like,
it's the thing they've always done, though. Like, if you go back to PS2, PS3, the PS2 ceased production after 13 years.
Well, yes, but what about?
But they had their own exclusive game. Like PS3 had its own exclusive games by, the second year. I think it'll be the same. I don't think everything's coming over. I don't believe that in the slightest. But I think having people because a lot of people don't jump in till last minute, and clearly they want to push the PS4 to maybe 130, 140 mil, maybe beating that PS2 mark, right?
Well, the other thing is what was PS4's first exclusive game?
The first two were Knack and Killzone, man.
Well, I'm saying exclusive that didn't come out for the PS4.
Oh, Knack and Killzone.
I mean, the PS3, excuse me, PS3.
They
came out on launch, right?
All.
Yep, they came out on launch.
Yep.
So, and then it was Infamous, right?
Little Big Planet 3, though, did come out to PS3.
It did. Yes, it did.
I think you're going to still have some cross-gen games, but not every game's going to be cross-gen. It's normally something you see with third parties like Assassin's Creed.
What I'm saying is that we should be more worried if God of War turns into PS4, PS5, and it being not PS5, just PS5, because that's the game that should display its best power. Is God of War?
Yeah, but what's your gut feeling? You think it's cross-gen?
No, I don't think so. I do not think so. I think that by the time God of War comes out, we're going to start seeing more exclusives.
Yeah.
More exclusive PS5 games. So, again, that's probably around next September, which I wouldn't have a problem with. I wouldn't have a problem with if it was like a year. But if we're talking like 2-3 years and the console's lifespan...
No, because we're getting a true exclusive at launch anyway.
Which one?
Demon's Souls.
Godfall?
Demon's Souls.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true, yeah.
Demon's Souls isn't going to be on anything else. You can't play Demon's Souls on anything else but PS5.
And Godfall, right?
Godfall will be next gen. Yep.
Yep.
Destruction Derby All-Stars, true next gen as well.
Yep. But
yep, they're gonna have there's gonna be games there, but there's gonna be cross-gen games. The thing about Horizon,
I need more.
The Horizon Zero Dawn
exclusives.
Because we talked about it, I think, a couple of years ago at Sony's last PlayStation conference at E3. We thought Horizon Zero Dawn 2 was going to be announced there.
Yes.
So, a lot of people did. A lot of people thought they would end the show with Horizon Zero Dawn 2 because clearly they were working on this game for a while. So then everybody was like, okay, maybe they just pushed it next-gen PS5. So, honestly, it did shock me at first hearing Forbidden West, or is it Forest, or Forbidden West, or whatever. Horizon 2 was going to be cross-gen, but then really thinking about it, it kind of just makes sense.
It doesn't bother me that they're going to be cross. It doesn't bother me within the first 6 to 8 months window.
Yeah.
It will bother me if this is a 2 to 3 year thing.
I don't think so. I think Spider-Man 2 will be a true exclusive as well. I don't think you're going to be able to play Spider-Man 2 on PS4.
Okay, I mean that's fine. If we go that way, that's fine. But if we're turning into God of War is going to be on both,
I just think it's kind of smart to not abandon the 125. It's hard to say no to, especially how much money you make off it. Because not everybody's going to jump. Everybody can't jump. We just talked about
they have to say it too because. I'm not saying that they have to say it, but they have to keep the PlayStation 4, relevant.
And we already knew that was going to be the case anyway. If you ever played video games or follow video games, they do that anyway. Sony, that's their natural instinct anyway. They just keep that console alive and keep it going. It'll have its own exclusives and stuff, but the PS5 will definitely have their own. So I think people definitely kind of gut reaction, kind of overreacted a little bit to some of this. And I understand it. You want...
No, it's not really an overreaction. And the reason why that I don't think so is because it is important to show what the console can do. And considering what everybody else, we took jabs at Xbox, right? One of the podcasts I said, I'm not getting the next-gen system because they're not going to have exclusives for 2 years.
Yeah, for sure.
For the system.
Absolutely.
And I have to hold Sony accountable the same way. I have to hold them accountable the same way. So, there's a point where you have to say, okay, it's time to move on. And in a year, in a year, that I think that's the perfect time to move on, away
Yeah.
from
The,
being PS4 and PS5, and I think it should start with God of War.
I think you're right. It'll be interesting to see. We'll see if it is cross gen. I'm not gonna overreact or freak out about it, even if it is not, because that just means the next God of War. That means we'll get another God of War on PS5, and it'll be like, whoa, like holy shit, you know?
Yeah, but you're talking about 2000. I'm going to say 2024, and by that time, that would be, if like I said, if the life cycle of the PS5
Honestly,
is
that's
in
not too
6 years.
far away, really.
No, I know, but if the lifespan of the PS5 is only 6 years, and three of it is spent on both PS4 and PS5,
Yeah, I
like
think that's why I think you keep misconstruing those things. I don't think that's happening.
no, but I'm talking about if it happens.
Yeah, I know,
If.
but I'm going off Sony's history, and I don't think they're going to do that. But it'd be interesting if they do. That'd be interesting. That
Yes,
would
but
be interesting.
I'm not gonna just say, you know, I'm not gonna just assume. I'm just gonna say if it happens, because that could be
Yeah,
a possibility. You don't know. You
yeah.
don't know
Well,
what
I think there is
exactly
going to
is
be
going
cross-gen
on.
games, Lou. I think that's just you're going to have to. There's going to be games that will be cross-gen for a while, and that's just going to happen. But I don't think every single PlayStation exclusive here on out is going to be cross-gen games. There's going to be some other games that they release for PS4 still, obviously.
Yes, but we have to see how long this is gonna be, because I will hold them accountable just like I did
And I
with
think we should. I
Xbox.
think everybody should. But I
Yeah.
still think it's very different from Xbox though, because the quality of what Sony has is much better still, right now at this moment. And I
No,
think
you
they
you're
will get the
you're
full
correct.
power of the PS5, but you're not going to get the full power of the PS5 in the first or couple of years of that console. People don't. When do they really figure out the full power of the console? It showed it this year, right, on PS4.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us Part 2, the last fucking year of the console's life.
Well, but
That's
they have
usually how it goes,
many.
unfortunately. It's usually just how the cookie crumbles.
Well, I think Uncharted did a good job, and that
No,
was
they
like four
all
years
did.
ago.
Uncharted 4 still looks great. But
Yeah.
Last of Us Part 2, whether you want to say about the story and everything, that game looked phenomenal. The same thing with Ghost
No,
of
I,
Tsushima. Like, those
no, I
games on
know,
PS5, like, holy shit.
but it just kept getting better. That's the
Yeah.
difference. Like it
And
just it just kept getting better um with Last of Us. Uncharted was one before that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I
not
think
one of
you're right.
those
I think the
things.
same thing is going to follow suit with Sony as well. Like I think they'll keep getting better. I think it'll be the same thing for PS5. I wouldn't worry too much about it. But I think you're right. I think you should hold them accountable. But I'm not. Again, on this situation, I'm not going to jump the gun because I think it's kind of normal to have cross-gen games anyway.
Well,
Um,
I'm not really jumping the gun, because I've said the same. I said about a year.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
said this is gonna continue for a year. Like I'm
What
not
if they
jumping the
don't
gun,
though?
and
What if they're like, hey, God of War, Spider-Man 2, PS4 / PS5.
I'm not gonna like it. I'm not gonna like it. But again, this is what I was talking. This is what I was talking about, right? Like, is that really jumping the gun? If that was an idea that could happen,
Oh,
it's
I
not
think it'd
really
be weird
jumping.
if they were doing it 3 to 4 years. But doing it a year, I don't think is that weird because the
But
console's still
that
gonna grow, the community's still gonna grow, and everybody's gonna have it. Uh,
yes, but do we worry? Like, do we come back a year from now
yeah,
and talk about God of War being on a PS4 and a PS5? Like,
yeah.
like
I don't know. I don't think. Well, we got to see how it turns out. We just got to see. We got to wait and see. Again, I don't think it's that crazy to think it might be both because it's coming out so soon, 2021. Unless it
Yeah.
gets pushed back. A lot of people feel like God of War is going to get pushed back because already we got Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War next year. That's fucking crazy. In 2021.
Well, it could get pushed back. They're more of a March release type of game. So
Mm-hmm.
they
It
come,
is, yeah. March, April type, yeah.
yeah. So I mean, it could get pushed back, but yeah. I mean, it's an idea to watch though. It's an idea to, it's something to watch out for with how long are they gonna go PS4 and PS5?
Yeah. I
So
don't think it's going to be constant. I think they just will. Some titles will be. I think they just will, like, if they do another Sackboy, I think there's a good chance that's going to be another PS4, PS5 crossover. You know?
yeah,
Like the smaller PS5 exclusives, I think there's a good chance. Like Kenna Bridge of Spirits, everyone's really excited to play that on PS5, but I think that's PS4 as well. You know, Five Nights at
we
Freddy's,
just
PS4,
yeah.
PS5, which is good. I think that's smart.
We just have more PS4 and PS5 games now
Hmm.
than we did PS4 and PS3. And I don't know if that was because Sony wanted to get away from the
They
PS3 era.
definitely they wanted you to forget about that thing.
Yeah, so
They
if that,
wanted
I
you to
mean,
forget about PS3, get on PS4, and they brought all the games over in remasters. Remember, most of them anyway, all the good ones.
yeah,
Uncharted,
but
God of War 3. Um, what am I missing? What's the Last of Us? You know.
and for those of you that are upset that it's not backwards compatible with PS3,
Yeah.
a lot of those games were remastered, the
Yep.
exclusives, and you could get them on PlayStation now.
So,
Just saying.
do you think Sony was in the wrong for a lot of this? A lot of this misinformation. They didn't handle it well. What do you think overall?
I actually don't think Sony was in the wrong at all.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because Xbox and not Xbox, excuse me, GameStop and Walmart jumped the gun and they
Yeah.
did the pre-orders too early.
Well, I mean
Um,
everything as a whole, not just pre-orders. I mean like the misinformation of Miles Morales and stuff like that. Like everything, the
uh,
whole thing after the show, like was everything
no,
mishandled?
because I get it from a business standpoint why they would do it that way.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it in a business standpoint why you would keep the PS4 alive, and it doesn't bother me. PlayStation was actually really quiet about that subject, as far
yeah,
as
yeah.
I
They didn't
know.
necessarily say that it was going to be a PS5 exclusive.
Yes, they were very quiet from as far as I know. It was really the fanboys, for both sides that were
Yeah,
really tooting the console's own horn. But
for sure,
uh,
absolutely.
yeah, I mean it's not really their fault. They really didn't say one thing and then did another thing, as far as I know.
Hmm.
And it's smart business wise. So
Yeah,
the thing that I question is how long is
yeah.
like how long are we going to continue to
But for you,
support the
it's a year,
PS4?
right?
Huh?
For you, it's a year. That's good
Yeah,
enough, right?
yes, for me it's a year, and then we start to worry if
Okay.
it's longer. If it's longer than that.
Okay, so this is a fun question before we put on our business hats. You put on your VP hat, I put my Prez hat on. Make gaming great again. People like that, right? We'll go with that. Does Game of the Year change because Miles Morales and Demon Souls come out November 12th?
If they meet the deadline, yes.
Well, Death Stranding came out November 15th and got nominated for Game of the Year. Does Demon... We already talked about how heavy centric our Game of the Year was for Sony already, right? There was like 3 to 4 titles we had in our head for Game of the Year, and they're not all going to make it. Now that we know that November 12th, Thursday, is PS5, we're going to get Miles Morales and Demon Souls as launch games. People can play them on PS4, so if they don't, or play Miles Morales on PS4, so if it's not next-gen exclusive, so
Yeah.
no next-gen games can be on the Game of the Year ballot for, say, Miles Morales still technically can make it. Demon Souls can't. And
Is that
finally,
really a thing? Is that really a thing?
what happened? No, I'm just saying if they
That
did that. No, let me just say if they fucking
okay.
did. Like, if they said that. But this really changes it up, I think. I think it's a big possibility that maybe one of these gets nominated, and it's going to kick some games out. It's going to be a weird Game of the Year, because we're getting next gen in the middle of Game of the Year. And these
Yeah.
games legit come out November 12th, same day as launch. Again, Death Stranding, November 15th. Got nominated for Game of the Year last year.
Yep.
So what do you think? Is this a possibility, or I know it's too early. These games are going to be reviewed ahead of time before we even get a chance to play them. The review scores and metas will be up. It's interesting how they choose, how the critics choose what's Game of the Year, what's not. It's going to be interesting. The highest Game of the Year right now is still Persona 5 Royale. I got to keep throwing that out there. Last of Us Part 2 dropped down a point. It's a 93 now instead of a 94. Very interesting scoring and how they handle it. What do you think? Like, what do you think? Is this going to change?
If it meets the deadline, yes. And if it meets the deadline, I don't know if they really want to get their hands dirty with the whole Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima situation.
Yeah.
So, that's a very touchy subject for some people.
Well, for example, so let's talk about this. So, go ahead, continue. I'm sorry. My apologies.
No, I was going to say that if Demon Souls and Spider-Man do make it, I could see them taking those two games out the running because it's a very, very, very touchy subject type of in gaming right now. It still is. I mean, before.
The Game of the Year podcast is going to be so interesting. It's going to be such an interesting... When we find out what's actually nominated, it's going to be such a effing interesting thing because it's not happening until December. So it's really going to be interesting. I don't know yet. The answer is I don't know. All I can say is both these games look really effing good. And now it's like, do we kick off Final Fantasy? Do we know Persona's probably going to get hoed? Probably not going to be on there. Does Demon Souls count as Persona? Is it like a remake, re-enhancement type thing, so it doesn't deserve to get nominated? Is Final Fantasy VII Remake booted for the same reasons? Is it, is Ghost, because of its Merit score, going to get, thrown out? It's going to be really interesting. I mean, it's a very interesting year. Like, it's a super interesting year, and I didn't think about it until the PS5 availed its date, and it's like, oh wow, these games are launch games now. These are November 12th. That changes the game up completely. No pun intended. If these games are good. I'm not saying they're going to be. They look freaking great.
My question is, why not? That's my thing. It's like, why not?
Yeah, I don't know if it meets the deadline. Judging system, I don't know how many they could put on, and there's never been more than 2 exclusives on Game of the Year because they only could choose 6. You got to remember that.
Yeah,
they can only choose 6, and I don't think you can have every single game PlayStation. That'd be very unfair for other games like indie games and whatever they try to choose. It'll be weird to see. I'm just so interested. It's going to be an interesting topic. People are going to be pissed. Either way.
I don't think it's. Honestly, I don't think that that's unfair at all.
Yeah.
Because if they're the best games and they're so happy to be made by PlayStation,
yeah,
then why not? Like, same thing with Xbox, right?
Yeah.
Let's say if Xbox made 6 or 4, 5, or 6 incredible exclusives in 1 year, why not? Like, it don't really matter. Same thing with Nintendo. The Game of the Year.
I'm not saying it can't happen, guys, but just following Game of the Year since I was a little kid, all the way back, like I think like 2011 or whatever, when they were on Spike TV and shit. It just hasn't happened. I'm not saying it can't happen. Maybe the most 3, but they're not going to put 6 games. It just doesn't work that way.
But have we ever had 6 games in 1 year?
Yeah, I think we've had a lot of exclusives that are really great, but there's been other great games to supplement that. So it's interesting to see what they're going to view as great games this year. What if Microsoft does have one really good one? Is Animal Crossing going to make it, right? I'm assuming it will. Maybe it doesn't, Does Doom get kicked out now because of all these other games? Does Cyberpunk make it, right? It's going to be interesting to see, because that's the most hyped game this year, is Cyberpunk. A lot of people love that new trailer they showed off. So let's put on our let's put on our president and VP hat. Microsoft made a huge acquisition, got like 6 new studios, spent $7.5 billion. What studios are we going after, Lou?
Right now, I'm going after Remedy.
Okay.
I like the direction that they're going with Control, and now they've incorporated Alan Wake. I think there's a lot of money to be made there if you do a remake of Alan Wake. Now that they own the exclusive rights to the game,
yep.
I think if you do a remake for PlayStation, then you do an Alan Wake 2. Maybe you do a Control 2. I think there's a lot of money to be made there, and I think that that's something that I firmly would like to see Remedy and Sony. I think that's perfect for them. But I know in some articles they've said that they like to stay where they're at, but you never know. You really never know.
I think they're on the table for sure. I think Remedy's on the table. I'm going to go big. I'm going to go big or go home. I'm going to go get Capcom.
Okay.
I'm going to go get a Japanese studio that has been really close with us for a long time. I'm going to go get Capcom because we can make Devil May Cry, Resident Evil. We can make that Dino Crisis remake. We can do anything we want. All those exclusive games. Street Fighter 6, exclusive to PS5 again. Like Street Fighter 5 was, right? Never touched an Xbox console. Mega Man. Everything. Although their incredible library. I'm going there. Also, I'm going to go... I think I sniff that Microsoft might go hard for Sega. So I'm going to go talk to Sega. I might not be able to buy Sega. But I'll be like, hey, Sega, that Studio Atlas there, let me buy it off you. And I'm going to go get that. I'm going to make sure Persona is safe. Because they clearly value Persona because it's on the PlayStation collection, right? Persona 5, they always show Persona 5 all the time. So they know the value of Persona. I would like to go get Square, but we probably can't afford Square, so we can't do that. So I'm going to go get Blue Point. You did a great job with Shadow of Colossus. You did a great job with Demon Souls. You're going to be a Sony first-party studio. You know what? To make it even better and make the pot sweeter, we're going to go after... If that's the only 3 we can get, that's the 3 I choose. But hey, maybe we don't. Maybe we just make more exclusive deals with some of those people. Yada, yada, yada. I think they're going to go try hard for some of those. We'll see. It'll be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. Again, I don't think Sega is going to get bought out by anybody. I think that would just be super weird. I
mean, if Square's going to pick some...
Go ahead, Lou.
I was going to say, if Square's going to pick somebody, they're going to probably pick Sony.
You would assume, but the thing with buying Square, you're not just buying Square Enix, the gaming company. You're buying, like, the music division. You're buying, like, the movies. You're buying, like, everything. That's going to cost shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Unless they give you just the gaming, which I don't think they're going to do. And we already found out they're making, Final Fantasy 16 console exclusive for now. We don't know if it's timed or what's going on. We're going to try to wrap things up, folks, pretty soon. We're just having a little bit of fun. What do you think of what I said, though, Lou?
I really don't think that Square is realistic.
Yeah.
But I would like it. I would definitely like it.
Well, what I said, Kingdom though, like Capcom and Atlas.
You see Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy come home. You see...
But
Capcom would be
I think,
cool.
Could be a possibility. Getting Atlas from Sega, and then bringing in Blue Point permanently, because they do all our great remakes.
Yeah. Blue Point, I think that Sony needs to start investing in more studios. The more the better, in my opinion.
I think they're going to. They're trying to keep Kojima Studios. Remedy's been on the table for a while. I just don't know if they want to pull the trigger or not.
I think you should. There's money to be made there if it's done
Who
correctly,
would
and
you
I think
rather
that
have though? Capcom? If you could only choose one, Capcom or Remedy? I would take Capcom in a
oh
heartbeat.
yeah, I would have to business wise I would have to take Capcom.
Yeah,
Yes,
I would
yes.
take Cap.
If I'm a businessman, I'm taking Capcom.
Capcom
But a
was
school,
almost bought out by Tencent, a big Chinese company, in 2014.
yep.
But they definitely have resurrected themselves. Devil May Cry is back, better than ever. Resident Evil's back. It's been great. Mega Man 11 has been a fantastic game. Came back as well. They definitely have trendward up. The years of Crapcom are over. I still think they're going to talk to Sega, maybe try to get Persona, something like that. They know the value of the JRPG. They know the value of Persona and Final Fantasy, and they're going to try to keep them on their consoles. I think. I don't think they're going to get. They can get Square. We're going to wrap this show up with the Nintendo Direct Mini. Were you able to watch this, Lou?
Yeah, I did. I watched it. I did watch it.
Take it easy, Joel. Have a good day. What was your overall thoughts? It was 15 minutes long. We're gonna be really quick about this because I think we already talked about all the fun stuff. No offense to Nintendo, I think they did some great announcements here. Couple of them. They were at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was just a simple direct to remind them that they're still around.
Yeah.
I really didn't think much of it. I like the Monster Hunter games. I'm confused what the 2021 one is. There's two
Monster Hunter Stories?
Yeah, so there's two Monster Hunter games that's coming out.
Yeah, they did a Stories game that was kind of like Pokemon for DS or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sequel to that one. So
Okay.
it's kind of like a Pokemon game.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's much that Nintendo could have done this year.
I don't think it was super flashy. I think the Monster Hunter games were the best showing for sure.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you overall before we go because I took a lot of your time. Thank you so much, Lou. Thank you so much to Joel and LG, everybody who's shown up. How has Nintendo handled this year? Has it been too much reliance on Animal Crossing? No new Smash characters besides one. Mario 3 All-Stars has been it's emulation. It's not native to your Switch, etc. You know, we haven't really had any news of Breath of the Wild 2 or anything like that. And we might not have any more. We did get a new Zelda title in terms of Hyrule Warriors Calamity or something like that. How have they handled this year, Lou? I know it's been a tough year for everybody.
I think they've handled it best way that they can. I don't expect much from them. Because I think that the whole situation that's going on right now really affected them.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that guy that just keeps bringing up, COVID-19, but I think that really did affect a lot of the,
for sure,
like the Smash character, reveals and et cetera, et cetera. But yes, I do think that they are relying a little bit on Animal Crossing to get them back on their feet for a little bit, and that's fine. Personally, I think that's fine. Yep. I think this is just going to be a dead year for Nintendo.
Yeah, the thing is, this year had so much promise because of all these rumors and everything. Breath of the Wild 2, and they said Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be 2020. Obviously, like you said, the COVID situation. I thought this was going to be another dominant year like their 2017 year where they had Mario and Zelda the same year.
Yeah.
I really do. Like, no offense to Paper Mario and the new Zelda Hyrule Warriors, the Mario 3D All-Stars. They're going to be Mario 3D World, Pikmin 3 Deluxe. You know, they pretty much brought all the games over. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. They had a pretty solid year, but compared to all the other years, nothing has matched their 2017 yet. And I thought it was going to be this year, but obviously, like you said, of COVID and stuff like that, I think they handled it okay, to be honest with you. I think they still had some good titles, but nothing like phenomenal nothing like Animal Crossing this year for them. That's their big one. I think COVID has helped them a lot. The Switch is selling out everywhere. They made a lot of money off the Switch. I wish they would have put more. I don't want to harp because I am going to get 3D All Stars eventually. But I'm kind of really disappointed that it's emulation. They didn't put it's Mario's 35th birthday, and they didn't put any more effort. They didn't remake all 3 of those games. They didn't put a lot of time into them. They kind of just put them on a cart and said, "Hey, here you go," and high res them, which is cool and it's fine, and people are gonna eat it up and buy it. I know most of you guys bought it already, right? Saw a lot of you take photos and stuff like that. You're excited about it, but it's kind of a bummer for me personally. Like I wish they would have put more love into Sunshine and some of the, Galaxy, and then
Well, the great thing is that they still could years from now. So
yeah,
if
I know,
really
but
want to.
Do we got to wait till the 45th? Like, when are they going to take anniversaries more seriously? Because they never do. It's always just
Yeah.
I know it seems like I'm being harsh, but being a Nintendo fan my whole life and seeing so many anniversaries go by, and they're like, oh, here's like an amiibo, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not really that big to them, like it is to us.
I have Super Mario All-Stars on Wii here, but it's literally just the Super NES game, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't do anything different. They didn't add, like, the making of it or anything like that. Which I think some of that is in the 3D All-Stars, I think. Like, they tell you info about the game and stuff, but I just wish they would have took it more seriously.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do wish that they would do things like that, but as far as the year, goes, I kind of give Nintendo a pass for this year, because of the whole situation
character
going on.
is going to get announced though.
Yeah,
I think at the Game Awards there'll be a shadow drop.
Yeah, I think that's going to get announced. I don't really think we're going to get a lot from Nintendo. If we do, I would be surprised. In terms of like an announcement of a new game or what have you, etc.
They might have one more direct because we still haven't seen Bayonetta 3 or anything. I think some of their stuff is going to be saved for the Game Awards. I think they'll have some big reveals at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Luke,
even at this...
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, even at this point, if they just showed a trailer to let us know, hey, we're working on it, but with the situation at hand... We unfortunately things are going to be delayed a little bit, so that's
very
it.
true. They did say that a few times in every direct and stuff, and I think Monster Hunter is cool. Like Monster Hunter Rise looks really cool. There's a lot of rumors we're going to see that new Switch next year, which would be great. I think Monster Hunter looked pretty damn good, but there was some moments of frame drops and stuff in there that looked a little rough. It definitely could use a more powerful console. I think they're going to do that. I think they will have a Switchy Pro or whatever the hell they want to call it, the Switch 2 or whatever. There's been a lot of things pointing towards that for many years now, but I think it will finally happen. I don't think we'll get Breath of the Wild 2 until next year, early 2021, maybe March again, for the 4-year anniversary of Breath of the Wild 1. I just want to thank Lou for his time. This was a really long episode, a really long pod. There was a lot to talk about, man. We had to cover so many things, and maybe we ramble on a little too much, but we had to have a little bit of fun. I thought us being president and vice president of Microsoft and Sony would have been really cool, and see where our decisions go from here. But I want to know what you guys think. What studios would you pick up? What do you think overall of the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X? Are you going to get both? One, none? You're going to wait? What do you think of Nintendo's year so far? I've been your fellow Strassman, the GG. That's been Lou. Skip to my Lou. I want to appreciate his time. Make sure you smash the hell of the like button. Comment down below. Sub if you're new. Sorry about Twitch. There will be no stream tonight again. Again, AC's not working properly. But again, shout out to Lou. Shout out to Joel. Shout out to LG. I've been your fellow Strassman, the GG. And Lou, we're outie.